terrific productions. Remember to smile and listen and enjoy.
Happy Birthday, Mr. Heegs. Written and read by Gabe Meadows Cleveland. Orange and yellow lights flickered as the house in his monotone voice said, "Today is February 5th, 2256. And it would seem the wonderful Mrs. Heegs is celebrating her birthday yet again. She had been excited for her 76th for a long time. Mrs. Heegs was a wonderful person and very clever. Many thought she had practiced this one time and time again. A D25 doorbell rang while the orange lights flickered as the guests have arrived. Her 2 children, John and Sarah, her 6 grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren too this time. The house ordered cake as they all sat down and started catching up. "Are you doing well?" asked John, as he buttoned his white shirt with his hands wearing green gloves. "Oh, I'm doing too well, if you ask me," laughed Mrs. Heegs as everyone else laughed. The room started going quiet. The cake was nowhere to be seen, and she seemed disturbed, almost as if something seemed familiar. Why were the walls so tall? Why were they grey and metal? "Have you taken your pills, Mrs. Heegs?" asked John. "No, I haven't," she responded. John made sure she took her medicine, and everything seemed to return to a nice, warm room on the countryside. The walls returned to blue, and the windows had returned. "I've been meaning to take a walk out sometime," Mrs. Heegs told everyone as she stood up to see the window. "Weren't you born in the 90s?" Sarah jokingly said. Mrs. Heegs told them mostly how wonderful the 2000s were, but she seemed to think it was so long ago, yet not so far at all. "I've lived such a long life," Mrs. Heegs cried. Mrs. Heegs started remembering how she has been alive since the 1990s, and that it was now the 2250s, and soon to be the 2260s. But also how she thought she had gone crazy. "Initiating memory and age reset," a monotone voice spoke. Mrs. Heegs fell and later woke up as the guests was not there. "What day is it?" she asked. Orange and yellow lights flickered as the house in its monotone voice said, "Today is February 5th, 2257. And it would seem the wonderful Mrs. Heegs is celebrating her birthday yet again. She has been excited for her 76th for a long time. Happy birthday, Mrs. Heegs. Written and read by Gabe Meadows Cleveland, or me.